to deal with toxic family members as an intuitive and empathic person. In this video, I'm going to share with you some grounded tips and tools on how to navigate complicated family systems while staying centered in your heart and your intuition so that you can... You know what I find really common? That intuitive and empathic people often were birthed into complicated family systems. And that means that there can be a lot of toxicity within their family. Now, that might be their parents or their siblings, might even be their extended family. You know, families are constellations. It's a whole system. But the number one loss that I see isn't just family and closeness and intimacy. It's really disconnection from your own intuition and your own spirit. Because when you are born as a empathic, sensitive being into a family that is unconscious, we, in a lot of ways, can really learn to develop our intuitive muscles to very much heighten our sensitivity to read into what's being unsaid, how people are feeling, what is going on, what is the solution. And really within that, those are all systems and strategies to create safety within ourselves, trying to create safety, an island of feeling safe and grounded in a lot of chaos. Now, what often also happens that within that real, almost like super sensed sensory power is that we also get into a lot of overthinking. We get very much into our heads. What is the right thing to do? What is the right thing to say in case I accidentally cause an explosion or cause drama or conflict? And it has us, that ripple effect of where we were first taught how to be in the world. That wound carries with us in all different facets of our lives, in all of our different relationships, and really robs us of our spontaneity, of our creativity, and of our ability to be deeply connected to others in the way that we really actually want. So, hi, I'm Sonia. I'm a fourth generation intuitive, and I teach you how to plug back into your innate divine self, your intuition. And if you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Don't forget to check out the description box below for all sorts of tools and things for you. And don't forget to hit subscribe because I release new videos every single week. So, toxic families, being an empath, being an intuitive. So here are some of the signs that I see very much in my mentoring, very much in my readings, is that when you're sensitive and intuitive and came into a very unconscious, very unskilled family, you know, that we often end up getting stuck in perfectionism. We feel like if we're really good and do things right, if we're really good helpers, come up with solutions, really generous, understanding, we're good listeners, we're empathic, that somehow that this will be this magic key to create more ease and predictability in our lives. And the other thing that I see really often is that intuitive, empathic people, when they're born in these systems, you know, what they're also really good at doing is being very accountable for their actions, really self-examining of like, what is my part? Because the system that they came in with didn't have a lot of that. So there's an idea of our ego intellect, the intellect that tries to figure things out, that says like, if I can figure out what I did wrong, then I can come up with a solution with how to do it right or how to do it better next time. Maybe I need to be more patient. Maybe I need to be more loving and forgiving and all these things. And you know what happens? All of that gets stacked upon itself until you get crushed with so many things to do that this is your responsibility. And it's not. You know, I can think about one of my clients who loved her mom very much. Her mom had a lot of wonderful gifts. When we talked about it, she said, my mom was great. She was always really supportive of me, supportive of my brother. She would do anything, go to the ends of the earth. But anytime we got into an argument, it would explode in my house. It would just be like Armageddon. Everybody would freak out and it'd be so scary. And then eventually she would calm down, and then she would also like attack my character, tell me that I'm a bad person, all these things in this sort of barrage vomit of mess. And then later she would come around and apologize, and I would forgive her. But that at the same time, it left me feeling sad because I love my mom, but also this isn't working. Now, the first thing that I even want to say when we're talking about our families, you know, we can start to appreciate the gifts that our family has given us, even in complicated systems, but also at the same time of being okay to let the people around us be accountable for their actions. You know, there is a wonderful quote that I learned from my therapist, Anna Maria, a while ago that said, understanding doesn't create change. And I love that because I find for intuitive, empathic people, we're very good at understanding others, understanding why they are that way they are, from their family trauma, from their upbringing, from their bad day, from X, Y, or Z. But at the end of the day, oftentimes those are excuses for bad behavior. So how do we stay centered in our hearts? How do we stay connected to our intuition? How do we navigate this? How do I get out of overthinking? So the very first thing is just examine your family system. Examine these relationships. How is your communication? Do you feel safe? Are you allowed to disagree? Are you always the one that has to apologize and take responsibility? Are there any ground rules when it comes to fighting? Is anybody allowed to say anything in the heat of the moment? If we can just start to pause and not make it good or bad, or that I have good parents or bad parents, or good siblings or bad siblings, and really take that intellect lens of black and white out, and just think, how does it make me feel? How does it make me feel when I communicate with them? Can I be supported? Can I bring my own stuff? Can I be uplifted? If we have a disagreement, are they able to hear my perspective? Can we come to solution? This is all good information. Once we can get clear in present time, then we can actually start to move towards creating better relationships. First with ourselves and our spirit, and then extend that to our family. So first, look at your family system. See what's working, see what's not working. See what makes you feel good, see what makes you not feel good. What are the things that you would like to change? What are the things that work? Even there, starting at that baseline, because once we can see clearly, there's a quote by Carl Jung, when the diagnosis is correct, healing can begin. So as much as our empathic, sensitive selves want to be compassionate and understand, just say, is this working or not? It's not being judgmental, it's not being critical, it's just being true. Another hallmark of intuition and living a life in alignment is being true, truthful with yourself, truthful with your higher self and the people around you. So second of all, let's say you have a toxic mom or sister, and every time that you go to call her or visit, like your whole body tenses up because you know it's just gonna be judgment and drama and stories of everything that's not working. You can feel your body contract. You can feel that your spirit gets squeezed right out of your body, and often we get into overthinking. We can see this as we're trying to say, oh, what might happen? How might I be able to react? What can I do? So start by just taking a deep breath. In through your nose, imagine like you're breathing up through your feet, pulling in the support of Mother Earth, connecting yourself back to home number one, and exhale like you're exhaling 10 birthday candles. Favorite tool? Hand on your heart, hand on your belly. Gently close your eyes and drop your attention from the chatter of your headspace to your heart. This is the portal of where we can listen. This is our home number one. This is where we can start to establish feeling safe in our own bodies. That then can carry us into these difficult situations, these difficult moments, but knowing that this is where we can always return to. Second of all, often when we have to navigate, let's say even just speaking up, navigate having to go to a family function, the anxiety rises, I feel drained, I'm already over it before I've even been there. I'm already feeling worried, afraid, anxious, any of it. Now, any time that we're in black and white, trying to figure it out, anytime that our mind is like a little rotisserie chicken on a spit, good sign that you are not connected to your spirit. You are in your head that is trying to figure things out, and it will exhaust you and also will hijack your imagination for every worst possibility that there possibly could be. So when you recognize that it is my protective ego intellect that is in charge, that's kind of freaking out, this is where we can, again, even could be our inner child. Often, especially with like parents and in family systems, it's our inner child that's the one that's afraid, not our higher self, not our spirit. So, 2, take a moment and reassure your inner child. Reassure your ego intellect that they don't have to be the ones in charge. You're actually going to turn it over to your higher self. That is who will be able to navigate whatever comes, and that they're safe. When we can practice giving ourselves the reassurance that we missed, that because a lot of times in toxic family systems, we don't get reassured a lot. We're really good at being reassurers because it's what we need. And we're really good at reassuring our family members. We have to practice giving that to ourselves first and foremost. Because in that, then all of that crunchiness will start to relax. So really make this a practice. Anytime, let's say the phone rings, you're like, oh no, what is grandma gonna say this time? Take a breath. Not my inner child, not my ego intellect that's driving, but my higher self. Third, establish boundaries. Empathic, intuitive people, this is often one of our number one soul lessons on planet Earth, is to have good boundaries. We have to remember that the relationships that we have with ourselves dictate the relationships that we have with all around us. So you might love mom, dad, sister, brother, grandma, but if you let them mistreat you and give them a pass because you love them and you know that they love you, then really what you're saying is that you can treat me however you want. And that in and of itself is not self-loving. So let's start by first saying, I am going to center all of my actions and all of my decisions in love for myself. So any boundaries that I exercise, anything that is a no, anything even in conflict, that it is out of a place of self-love and appreciation. And that moves away from our own judgment of self or others. I am making these decisions and actions because I love myself. You can't download on me all day because I love myself. You can't nitpick death by a million paper cuts because I love myself. You can't be judgmental of me, whether it's talking about my body, my relationships, my clothes, my choices, because I love myself. That can help to change and give ourselves more grace. I love you spirit, I don't love you barking dog. So we can also use that, looking at our family members. I love their higher self, I love their spirit, I don't like their barking dog. That's okay, it's not being critical, it's just being true. Now, the other thing, I feel like I'm like numbers and then I lose my number. Let's say 5. First get clear on what your ground rules are when you have time away. So for example, if you have a family that fights a lot, and that's one of the ways that you guys work things out. If there's a lot of drama, drama is addictive. And often we can have these big explosions and then there's closeness. That is a cyclical pattern that can happen. So let's say you're in a family that has a lot of drama. First, get clear on what your ground rules are for conflict. Is it okay for people to yell at you? Is it okay for people to attack your character? Is it okay for people to go to past stories? Is it okay for them to say always, never, you always are like this, you never? Basically, these are all good red flags. So first, no yelling. And you can even just say what you have to say is important and I want to listen, but right now I can't yell at me. And if you keep yelling at me, I'm gonna walk away, and then actually do walk away. Second ground rule, you cannot attack my character. You can be angry at me for if I've made a mistake or hurt your feelings, but you cannot attack who I am at my core. Second rule, walk away. Third, that whatever we're talking about, especially in conflict, that we are talking about this thing, this particular instance. We can't go back in history. We can't go, you in the video store and blah, 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 blah. You can say, if that is important to you, we can circle back at another time, but right now we're working on this issue. And slowly keep bringing them back to the present moment, because that helps to contain things. Also, know what your North Star is. What do you want the solution to be? Do you want somebody to hear you? Do you want them to not yell at you anymore? Do you want them to understand what you're saying? Use your North Star anytime you're in that conflict, because that will give you an out instead of getting stuck in all the mishigosh, wishy-washy, blah, 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 that can leave us in feeling like we're in the undertow of a wave. And last, really be direct. Be as direct as possible. Be clear on what it is that you want. Talk about how you feel. People can't tell you that how you're feeling is wrong. We can often get so caught up in what happened that also we have all sorts of different perspectives. Instead, focus on how you feel and how what they're saying makes you feel. It makes me feel sad when you yell at me. It makes me feel scared when you yell at me. It makes me feel bad when you tell me that you don't like my clothes. Often when we can get out of the head and engage with people's emotional selves, it helps to quiet that blah, 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 And last, really have good boundaries. Know what your true yes and what your true no is, and follow through. The big thing, consistency, follow through every single time. Every single time that voice is raised, leave. Every single time there's an attack on your character, leave. And you can say, I want to talk about this and I'm looking for a solution, but at this moment, not working for me. Another tool that I have, I'm giving you so many. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if all of a sudden tensions rise, heart rates, people are starting to get more and more crispy, ask for a time out. Say, I need 5 minutes of no talking and I will be back and we can resolve this. This is a good moment to, I use this all the time, even in my own family, in my own relationships. Anytime I feel that I can get into that space, I ask for a timeout and I say, we'll be back in 5 minutes. And it helps me to re-regulate and ground back to my spirit, to my higher self. What do I want the solution to be? What do I want the outcome to be? That can help to make sure that I am not only in alignment with myself, with my relationships, and that I can come to a solution. And when you're doing and setting all these boundaries, creating all these changes, a lot of times it can bring about a lot of anxiety, not only in yourself, but in your family systems, because there's a fear of disconnection. As you change, as you grow on your healing journey, things change. You create a change within the system, and that creates anxiety around disconnection. And that might come out in all sorts of different ways. But recognize that the changes that you are creating within yourself have a ripple out effect. And the anxiety that rises within yourself, that's when you can use your spirit and your intuition, your higher self, to help reassure those parts that need it. We're remembering that you're not hurting anyone. You're not doing anything wrong. What you're actually doing is very self-loving and loving to the people that you care about. Because creating these very clear dynamics and boundaries creates more intimate connection where actually everybody else can relax. And it's okay to have a full no and a walk away. So there's a lot. I probably do like 10 videos on this. I squeezed a lot into a short period of time, but recognize, toxic family systems are tough. They are tough. So be patient and gentle with yourself. Don't be obligated. It's okay if you miss a family function. It's okay if you don't answer the phone. It's okay if you need to take time or space. These are all valid things. This is not abandoning anyone that you love. It's actually just not abandoning yourself. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit subscribe, hit that like, leave me a comment. What do you think? How do you deal with a toxic family system, or maybe it's in-laws in your life? I would love to hear from you. And I am sending you all of my love. I'll see you next week. Also, don't forget to check out the podcast. It's all related with my mom and sister. We talk about topics every week. We would love to see you there. So, my love, bye.